Google dropped a new image model today called Nano Banana 2. And yes, the name is what it is, but the actual product is worth talking about. Quick context, last August they released Nano Banana, which got a lot of attention for how good the editing was. Then in November came Nano Banana Pro, which was higher quality, better reasoning, but a bit slower. Today's release is basically Google trying to close that gap. Same quality as Pro, running at flash speed. That's their pitch. The technical name is Gemini 3.1 FlashImage, which is sitting inside the Gemini 3.1 family. So what exactly is new or improved? The model is connected to Gemini's knowledge base and can pull from real-time web search, which means it can reference real-world subjects accurately instead of approximating them. You can ask it to render a specific building or location, and it will actually look it up. That grounding also makes it useful for things like infographics and data visualizations where accuracy matters. Text and images is also improved. AI models have struggled with readable text forever, and Google says this handles it much better. Correct spelling, legible output, and you can even ask it to translate text within an existing image into another language. On the creative control side, they've added subject consistency across a single workflow. Up to 5 characters and 14 objects can visually stay coherent across multiple images. That's useful if you're storyboarding or building any kind of sequential visual narrative. Resolution also goes up to 4K with full aspect ratio control, so it works whether you're outputting for a social or widescreen format. Where can you use it? You can use it in the Gemini app, Google Search through AI Mode and Lens, AI Studio, the Gemini API, Vertex AI, their video tool called Flow, and Google Ads. It's the new default in Gemini, though Pro subscribers can still reach the original Pro model through the menu. They're also continuing to build out SynthID, their watermarking system, which is now paired with C2PA content credentials, an industry standard that lets you see not just whether AI was used to make an image, but how. The verification tool in the Gemini app has been used over 20 million times since November, which says something about how much people actually want that kind of information. So that's the overview. Faster, higher quality, more control, and it's available today. So I'm in Gemini right now, and what I'm going to do is actually test out the new model and see if it's able to do what it's supposed to be good at. For example, world knowledge in real subjects. Can it actually create images that are referencing world knowledge, text rendering, translation tests maybe, even subject consistency. But first, I'm going to test out its world knowledge by giving it a prompt like this, which is to create an image of the Pantheon in Rome in the style of a 1970s travel poster with accurate architecture. So let's see if it's able to do this. Alright, so it's definitely using that 1970s theme. We can see that in the words and everything like that. The poster looks like something from 1970s. And now let's see how accurate this is to the actual Pantheon in Rome. So if I were to open up, like for example, this image kind of depicts it. Like we can even see the Roman lettering is trying to copy that in the image. So it definitely has access to world knowledge where it's able to pull information from architectures and actual buildings and recreate them because we have the similar Roman wording, similar shape and everything. So it's not bad at all. I haven't visited this place, but I'm guessing there is a water fountain in front of it. And we see that in our image model over here as well. The second test I'm giving it is to create an infographic explaining how a lithium-ion battery works using clean modern design. So let's see how good it does when it comes to this. All right, it looks like our infographic is done being generated as well. So number one, it looks pretty professional. The wording looks good as well. I am not a big science guy, but I do remember from my elementary school and even my high school science classes that there is a cathode and anode, and this looks kind of accurate. But if you're watching this and you have a better understanding of how a lithium-ion battery works, and if you see anything that's wrong, point it out in the comments. But to me, it looks pretty good. Now, another key feature that the new model is supposed to have is supposed to be really good at text rendering. So what we're going to do is try to create a vintage cereal box design called Cosmic Crunch with a nutritional info on the back panel. So let's see how well it does with this prompt. Okay, this is really good, guys, because I don't know if you guys noticed, like Cosmic Crunch, it created a cereal box that looks pretty, number one, amazing, looks pretty coherent. Like we have this guy over here and everything like that with marshmallow moons. This kind of sounds tasty, I'm not going to lie. I think it's trying to be like a Lucky Charms, but like a cosmic version. So not bad at all. And then if we look at the nutritional data, serving size 1 cup 28 grams, we can see like this stuff all looks pretty accurate. It looks like something that we would expect from an actual picture, and all of this is AI generated, right? So this is once again really cool. I'm sorry, graphic designers, but looks like I'm able to use NanoBanana Pro 2 and kind of replace your work within like a couple of seconds. So I'm sorry about that, but like we can see we have like our percent daily value and everything like that. Send for your Space Cadet badge. So it looks like it added one of, you know how back in the day the cereal boxes used to have like a little feature or something like that, or a toy or anything like that. It added that. We also have milled corn and things like that, ingredients at the bottom over here. So the text rendering is not bad at all. I'm going to test out the subject consistency claim that they made, and I'm going to test it out by asking it to create a 4-panel comic strip with the same character, a tiered office worker in a blue suit across all 4 scenes, each with a different facial expression. So let's see what it does now. All right, looks like our comic is done. So one thing you'll notice is that the character looks pretty consistent across each single section. So 9 a.m., 1:30 p.m., 4:30 p.m., 7 p.m. Got another Monday and my coffee is already cold. Yes, know what? Which spreadsheet I'm trying? It's due 1 hour. I guess this guy's having a tough day. Sorry, buddy. But it looks pretty good. Like the characters look consistent and everything like that. Let's just see any details that I can pick on. Let's look at the tie. The tie looks pretty similar across it. So yeah, definitely there is subject consistency that is following. So that's a good sign for these models because that was something they struggled at a lot. I'm going to try something called instruction following, and the prompt I'm giving it is pretty detailed, but a wide cinematic shot of a rainy night market in Southeast Asia, neon reflections on wet pavement, food vendor in the foreground, shallow depth of field, shot on 35mm film. So let's see what it creates now. All right, this is our image, and this is actually like insane. Like we can see that we have our food vendor over here. He looks like it looks like it's something from, I haven't been to Thailand or anything like that, but it gives me that kind of vibe. I don't know if this is the actual Thai language. So if you guys are from Thailand or have seen this, let me know. We have a foot massage place. We have, it looks like ramen. I'm guessing it's ramen. We have a beer store, things like that, a night market. And this looks pretty like amazing. It does look wide cinematic and everything like that. It does look like 35mm film and everything like that. But what I'm going to do right now is just see if I were to change it up and try a different aspect ratio, is it able to maintain some sort of consistency, or let's see what it does. So I'm going to tell it to change to vertical 9:16. So let's see now. All right. So this is not bad at all. We can see from this picture that we have subject consistency because it didn't mess up the image and it was able to handle the new aspect ratio. Did it cut off the guy a little? Yeah, but it's fine. I mean, like we know we just wanted him in the foreground. We didn't center the image around him. So it's not bad at all. So I'm genuinely very happy with the new model. And I think this is going to be useful in so many aspects. Like it's going to be not only good for, image generation for personal use, but for professional use, marketing use, things like that. People have been using it for UI mockups and everything like that. Like for example, this suite I saw kind of shows this, like he just created a simple hero section and then we can look at it. He just drew something over here with the icon and everything like that. And what Nano Banana was able to do is take that image and actually give him something that looks reasonable, obviously much better. So you have a little bit of sketch, a little bit of drawing, and you want to put that into Nano Banana Pro, you get something like that. And then this is another example, like these aren't real vacation photos. They're generating using Google's Nano Banana 2. So we're definitely cooked because if you look at this lady definitely looks real and it looks consistent across the images. Like we can see that, like, she's the same lady from this image, same lady over here, and then we can see continued over here as well. Like you would have to spend a lot of time analyzing what's different to be able to catch that it's AI. But if you're just scrolling on Instagram or you're scrolling on X or anything like that and you see pictures like this, they look real, right? So we're definitely, as this guy says, cooked, but hopefully people are using this model for the good reasons and not the bad reasons. But Google, good job. But that's it for today's video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, follow the world of AI, and don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter. We post constantly and you don't want to miss this. I'll see you guys in the next one.